Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a really fun video tutorial for you guys today. I made my own baby lounger. Let's see if you can see it. There are some things that I would do differently. I'm just going to talk about those really fast, and that being that it's a little large, so I think that this will fit my baby girl once she's a little bit older. So I would personally, whenever I'm making my other one, because I bought fabric to make another one, I'm gonna make this about half the size that I did in the tutorial today. So if you wanna make a smaller one, just downsize your measurements in the middle. But I spent, I think, $15 and I made a baby lounger. It looks a lot like the Snuggle Me Organic. And then I am going to make a cover for it, but a pillowcase fits it perfectly. So if you don't feel like making a cover, you can always just use a pillowcase. It was really easy to make. So if you sew, you'll be able to do it, or if you know someone that can sew, they will definitely be able to help you because it was really easy. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. So the materials you're going to need for this project are, I used a sheet set, but you can use any material of your choice. You're going to need stuffing. I just bought pillows and I didn't even use a whole one. You're going to need a sewing machine, and you're also going to need scissors and a tape measure. So somehow I lost the footage of me showing you how I cut the fabric, but I'm just going to walk you through and tell you how I did it while I am sewing my first line. So you're going to fold your fabric in half, and that part that is folded you're going to use as one of the sides. That way you don't have to sew it. So that folded side and the side parallel to it, you are going to cut it at 27 inches. We are cutting it at 27 inches, but whenever it's over, it's probably going to be about 24, 25 because you're going to stuff it. You need to have some seam allowance, and we're also going to round out the edges. The shorter sides, you are going to cut at 20 inches, and they will end up being about 17 when we're all done. So the first thing you're going to do is sew the long side so that you have two sides that are done. The folded side is closed, and then the sewn side is closed, and then the top and the bottom are open. So now we're going to round the edges, and I'm going to measure 3 inches down and 3 inches across on each corner to kind of give myself a guide. And then I used a bowl as like a tracing mechanism. That way whenever I was sewing, I could just follow that line. And using the bowl as like a tracing thing really helped. That line was so much easier to follow than freehanding it. So now we're going to go along the top, and we're going to completely close it. We're going to round out the edges around the top and connect them to the sides that are already closed. Down at the bottom, we're going to round out the edges and then leave a hole in the middle on the bottom. That way we can stuff it. So now that we have the top and the bottom sewn with the edges rounded, I'm going to go through and cut off the excess fabric so that whenever we turn it inside out to sew and stuff and all that stuff, we don't have a lot of fabric just like clumped up inside. And now you're just going to want to turn it inside out. Okay, so in the Snuggle Me Organic, which is the look that I'm going for, there is 3 lines down the middle that are sewn to kind of give it that little hug in the middle where the sides will come in. So you're going to want to find the exact middle of your lounger and mark it. From there, we're going to mark the lines for the 2 sides that you are going to sew, and like I said, I made mine a little bit bigger, but if you want to make it like a true snuggle me, those 3 lines need to be about 7 inches across, like all 3 of them. So what you're gonna do is from the middle, you'll measure out 3 inches on each side, 3.5 inches or 4 inches, whatever you prefer, however big you want it. That's what you're gonna do. And you're gonna make sure that you make the middle line a little longer, about 1 inch or 1.5 inches longer than the 2 side lines that you make. This is gonna make it so that their head can sit and be snuggled. Next, you are going to sew the 3 lines. So you're gonna start about 5 inches up and 5 inches down from the top. So there's gonna be like a 5-inch space at the bottom and the top, and you're gonna sew your 3 lines. Since you're going to see these lines, I put my machine on zigzag. That way it would just give it a cute look, but you can do whatever you would prefer. But you're just gonna follow those 3 lines and sew right on top of both layers. The point of this is to make tubes for your stuffing, and you will end up having 4 tubes, but you're only going to end up stuffing around the top and around the sides and the bottom. Now is where you're going to cut your pillow open and take the stuffing out to put inside, or use the stuffing that you had purchased, and you are going to stuff it all the way around both sides and the top. Now you want it to be pretty tight. You don't want it to be super soft and limp, because that's just not going to hold its shape whenever you put the baby in it. So make sure that you pack it in there pretty tight. Next, we are going to close most of the bottom. So I'm just going to sew a little bit on each side, but leave a tinier hole so that I can start stuffing the bottom, and then we will eventually close that as well. Now that you have closed the sides and there's only a little hole left, you are going to stuff the bottom so that it is matching the top and the sides of density of how squishy it is. And then we are going to sew it up and we will be done. So here it is, guys. It's done. I love it so much. It turned out way better than I thought, and it was so much easier than I had ever imagined. Like I said, I made this one a little bigger, so I'm excited to make another one, and I'm gonna make it a little smaller, but I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and I hope you make one for yourself. Alright guys, that was it. It was so simple. I really hope that this video helped you if you are looking to make your own baby lounger. I know they can be really, really expensive, so I'm always about finding the cheaper DIY version. If you know me, if you've been part of my channel, you know that I'm always about doing it myself and saving money. So I'm really excited about this because I can also customize the colors and things like that that I want to do later on. So if you do make one, I would love to see it. Please head over to my Instagram, give me a follow, message me a picture of it, tag me in them if you decide to make them. I would love to see what you come up with and what colors you use and how yours turns out. So thanks so much for taking time out of your day for watching this, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.